Swift Aide is available for free on Play Store. You just download it and you install it, and then you actually get to register with your phone number, which we require because so as we can verify that you're a true person. So after registration, now you can get access to all the services that are there. And if you want to be a service provider, there's also a button on the menu where you can partner with us. If you want to register a business, if you want to perform any tasks, let's say you're a service provider. So it's as easy as when you go and become a partner, you just get to download the other applications because we have special applications for businesses and we have special applications for the service provider. So you just get to download them, register yourself, upload the necessary documents, then we can get to verify you, and after verification you are now available to provide any service in the application. No, the app is absolutely free. We don't charge anything for the application. The application is absolutely free on Play Store. You are not charged any single cent to download our application. Okay, my name is George Karimi. I'm the co-founder of Swift Aide. And Swift Aide is a mobile platform for household services and for businesses who actually advertise their services on our platform.
So for how long has Swift Aide been in the market?
Swift Aide was founded in 2017 actually, but we started operations in 2018, towards the end of 2018. We've been running through 2019, but mostly it has been working in major towns. But the app is available countrywide, so long as you have a service provider actually registered near you.
So if, for example, I want to be a service provider, how can I interlink that with Swift Aide?
If you want to be a service provider, we provide. You just get to download the app. It's on Play Store. There's a service provider app. We call it Swift Aide Tasker, where service providers can actually register themselves. Let's say you're providing a service like plumbing. You can just go and register as a plumber, and actually what we require from you is some documents like certificate, or your certification, maybe where you studied and you got a certificate for plumbing, and also your ID. And then we actually get to verify those documents. Then we verify you in the app so that you can be able to provide the service. Verification is done so as to prevent quacks or people who have no experience from providing the services in the application.
So me, as a service provider, how do I benefit from Swift Aide as an app?
Swift Aide gives you more exposure in that people can actually request your services just the way they request an Uber. In this age of technology, I think because most of the people actually nowadays just depend on referrals. If you need a cleaner, you get a referral from your friend that this cleaner is good. If you need a plumber or an electrician, it's the same thing. And every day you have these household problems. Let's say your electricity has a problem, your bulb has a problem. So instead of depending on referrals, which sometimes might not work, with Swift Aide, the client just goes to the app and actually sees that this service provider is this and so, and they have a rating where for the services they've provided, the clients have rated this service provider. So you'll actually get to see the comments and the reviews that this service provider has gotten, and you can actually make a judgment on which service provider you'd want to use depending on their rating.
So how do you help out clients who have complaints about a certain service provider? Given a job and they haven't done it in a conclusive
in a conclusive way. what we do is actually what we prefer is actually this client paying through the app, so that if they have a complaint, we can actually get a refund for them. Or if we have a complaint maybe of theft or anything, since we have the documentation of this service provider, we can launch a complaint via the authorities like the police service and everyone, so that we can recover the items, or actually get this person, because our app is location based. So meaning we can actually know the location of this individual, where he normally is and where he normally works from. So it's easy to actually follow up, since our application is location based. But so far, we've not encountered such an issue, because since we have their documentation, it actually deters them from actually doing a shoddy job, and because of the reviews, it deters them from actually doing a shoddy job, since when you have a bad review, you'll get less and less requests for services.
So how secure is the app
The app is
for both the client
and
and
the
the
service
service
provider.
provider?
The app is actually, yeah, this is what we that is what you're saying. The app is location based, and you always track if someone requested a service, maybe in a certain location, you have that location, so it will deter them from doing any harm to any of our service providers. But mostly we operate via trust, because it's the same way as as you go and get a just a cleaner from somewhere and comes and does a job for you. So we just operate on trust. But if we have a case, it's very easy to trace back to where it's happened, because the app is location based.
You said that if your client provider gives out that has already done a
Show
short
the
job,
job.
you have a refund. Do you give a full refund of this amount, or you give a certain percentage?
We give a certain percentage, and it's actually based on the complaint that the client has, and we have to go and verify if this complaint is genuine, because normally you might find that it might not be. People are different. We are dealing with different kinds of people every day, so it will depend. Someone will go and review the job and actually propose the refund that the client is supposed to get, but it's actually on an understanding that we will have with the client.
So currently SwiftAid is operating under what number of staffs?
Currently, the number of service providers that we have are about 150, because they're independent. They register for themselves. Our work is just to verify them, and when we verify them, now what's the work that they go and do, it's actually independent. The SwiftAid is just a platform where we connect the service provider and the client. And what I want to say also is, we we're actually focusing on, we have so many people, especially in this day and age of where people have gone on vocational training. We have so many people at home. Like, we have a lot of people like plumbers, electricians, like carpenters, people with experience, but since there's no formal employment, they're just staying at home. SwiftAid actually gives them a platform where they can actually get some jobs on the side. Even if they have a formal employment, on the side, maybe in the evening, they can get a request and go and fix something somewhere. So we're just helping people to actually, we're empowering these people to actually embrace technology, to actually assist them in getting jobs.
You, George, are you the co-founder of SwiftAid?
Yes, I'm the co-founder of
What
System.
necessitated you to form this app, to come up with this app?
It was one Sunday morning back in 2017, where all my clothes were dirty. and my house was in a mess. So on trying to call my cleaning lady, she wasn't available. Actually, she told me she was sick. So it really messed up my week, because now I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the energy to actually do all this work. So that's when I thought that, I know so many people face this trouble, face this problem. So why can't we have an application where we have these service providers? So if I lack one, I can go and request for another and request for another. Just the way, like, it's that, just in an easier manner, just the way that, like, you request a taxi or an Uber. Yeah.
So, so far, how can you rate the app?
So
Since
far,
it's in inception.
Inception, we are getting very good feedback, especially in the major towns, because that's where there's deeper penetration of internet and smartphones. So, one of the challenges that we used to get with our service providers, let's say the cleaners, the plumbers, and these people, some of them don't have smartphones, and that can be a challenge. But we actually try to assist them in a way that you can get an SMS. You you can. It's not a must you be online. So when someone requests for your service, you can get an SMS and actually go to the app and actually accept or reject the request, and actually work with the client until you complete his request.
So, how different is Swift Aid app from any other app that does the same?
SwiftAid, there are many apps that actually provide household services, and what I can say with SwiftAid is our difference is we give you an option. You can pay either through mobile or through the app or via cash. And also a major difference that we've tried to innovate is, since now in our country we have a culture of bargaining. So we don't have a fixed price. We let the client and the service provider decide on what price they'll agree on. Then us, we just get a commission on the price that they agree on. We don't have a fixed price, because like, in our country, we have not gotten to a level where you pay workers in terms of hours. You need your map stamped by an architect. The same thing, you go to Swifted and see which architect is near you. You have you need a cook for a day, you need catering services, you just go to Swifted and check. You don't need to call so many people to get referrals. And here in Swifted, you can actually see the ratings and reviews, and see what was the experience with other people when they used this service provider.
So, where do we see Swift Aid in the next 2 to 3 or maybe 5 to 10 years?
Um, since we're still expanding to the major towns, and with the upsurge of now technology and uptake of technology in actually our country, we're seeing a bright future. But we are also planning to expand beyond our borders. Actually, our next frontier, we want to go to Rwanda, because also there the uptake of technology is quite immense, and that is actually our 5-year goal. We need to have a launch in Rwanda, but we need to actually make sure everything is set at home first, so that we can go.
So, what are maybe some of what kind of measures have you put in place maybe to penetrate in the industry and the market industry actually?
We've actually tried to solve every problem that, especially, the service provider might have. So in the case that they can be connected to the client, as I mentioned, most of the service providers don't have smartphones, and they use these phones Normally they are called kabambe here in our country. And what we've done is we've come up with a program where we have agents. Let's say you own an M-Pesa shop, or you own just a shop around in the estate. Only, these people have a lot of time on their hands, and most of them have smartphones. So we have actually used them as agents so that they can register these service providers who don't have the smartphones under them. So when they get a request, they just send the people to do the job, and when they get paid, they get their cut, and they pay the people the money.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, is there any other thing that I've left out that you feel you need to talk about?
Yeah. Okay. Mostly is what I can say is, in this age where formal employment is quite hard to find, and it's a true thing in our country, not in our country, actually globally. That's why you've seen the upsurge of technology even in the global market, because formal employment has become harder and harder to find. More and more people are becoming skilled every day, but we cannot just sit at home waiting for manna from heaven. We That is why we introduce these platforms to actually assist people to actually, even if you have formal employment, the economy right now can't allow you to survive with one job unless it's a very good job. It's The platform also assists you to get a side hustle. You can just be working a day job, over the weekend you're doing something else. So it's for people to embrace technology and know that technology can be a solution to most of our problems, especially in unemployment.
So, what is your clarion call to the government and its entity?
The government, I'd still ask the government to actually reduce the taxes on the smartphones which are entering the country, the tax on the import duty for the smartphones, so that if smartphone penetration can actually improve, and if everyone can actually have a smartphone, it will really help, since now they if people can work through our platforms, they can still get taxes. So they just substitute that import duty with the taxes they get from when the people get the jobs from apps like ours. And also we'd urge them to actually make internet affordable to everyone, because this is the information age. And what if our country is to move forward, we have surpassed, we missed the industrial revolution, we missed the technological revolution of the 80s. So but we have a chance in this information age, even if we are not if you even if you're not we don't have the industries and everything. Technology has no barriers. We can actually grow from there, and we can see so many benefits in this decade to come.
So, whoever is watching you back at home, what do you have to tell them?
I tell them to actually download our app. And technology is something that is here, and we can't escape from it. So we should not fear it, and we should not have doubts. Swift Aid is there to assist you in whatever service you might need, and if anything occurs in the process, we are there also to assist you get the best service possible. So I'd urge people at home to actually embrace technology, and actually even for the upcoming entrepreneurs, to actually they should not fear. They should just whatever ideas they have, they should just see the problems that face people, and if they come up with ideas, I know it won't be easy at first, but I promise them that it will actually pay off. It's better than doing nothing. Yeah.
So, what is your parting shot?
My parting shot. My parting shot, I can say, is I've said a lot about technology. It's just get Swift Aid, and all your hassles will be handled.